Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to episode 10 of rebuilding this crash damaged Ducati. I'm getting this bike finished today, no matter what, even if the video has to be half an hour long. This video is going to be really exciting because we're going to be taking delivery of the new panels. I haven't received them yet, but in the next few days they should be here. So by the end of the video, we'll be getting them on the bike. I'm sure it's not going to be that easy to put everything back together because there's still little bits and bobs that we're missing. But we won't know what we're missing until the panel set comes. Things like rubber bushings and fasteners and just little bits and pieces. I'm also going to be installing these steel braided brake hoses in this episode. And we're going to be doing an oil change, coolant flush, bleeding the brakes, putting the petrol tank back on, and essentially building the whole bike up until it's finished. As I said, even if this episode has got to be 30 or 40 minutes long, I'm going to be getting this bike built today. Well, sorry, not so much today, but in this episode, which for you is today, but for me it's going to be over the next week or two. And for now, that's all I've got to say, really. Let's get on with the episode. Something else that's on the list today is getting all of these fluids in the bike. We're going to be doing an oil change, a coolant change, and maybe putting brake fluid in. Actually, I'm not doing the brake fluid yet until I get new brake lines. But we will be doing oil filters and oil filter O-rings. And of course, it'll be interesting to see how clean the filter is that comes out of the bike, if there's any metal shavings or any particles in there. So while I wait for the panels to come from China, I'm going around the bike and doing any little easy jobs I can find. At the back of the bike where the rear mudguard sits, there's a lot of paint missing on the rear swing arm. This whole area looks a lot worse when the mudguard isn't there, but when the mudguard's on, it hides a lot of it. I'm not quite sure what's caused all the paint to rub off, but as you can see it's quite bad, and unfortunately the rear mudguard doesn't hide it. And trying to find a matching paint colour for this swing arm is really hard. Online it says that this colour is black, but in real life it looks more of a grey colour. So I went online to try and find a matching paint colour. The best I could find was this black grey colour. It looks fairly similar. Hopefully it'll match up. I'm only touching up that little bit of missing paint, so it shouldn't be too bad. Also in today's video we're going to be fitting new brake hoses. These are the yellow ones that come on the bike. I was originally going to keep them to save some money, but they're a bit banged up and the yellow colour clashes with the gold wheels. And I think the yellow is going to clash with the tricolore panel set as well. So I didn't really want to have to buy a whole new set of brake hoses because they're quite expensive, 130 quid. But I just really didn't like the yellow colour. I really couldn't decide what colour to do the new ones in. I was going to go with black for a nice OEM look, but I thought it would be a bit boring, so I went with a clear stainless steel look. So this is the colour I've gone for. Silver, still quite a neutral look, but I think it looks quite premium. Really excited to get these on the bike. That's what we're going to go ahead and do now with the oil change and the coolant change. I've only done one layer and I'm really happy with how it's come out. I think the colour matches really well. Now that it's drying, it's looking a little bit lighter than when I first put it on. And I think painting with a glove finger worked really well. I could get the paint all up in the edges. It's not fully dried yet. That's how it's going to sit. I mean, it still don't look great. You can still see the outline of where the paint was missing. I tried to smoothen it down with a sander, but overall, it looks better than it did before. It's good enough for now, because I don't really feel like removing the swing arm and getting the whole thing repainted. I'm really happy with the steel braided hoses. I think they look so much better than the yellow ones that were on there before. Now that the brake hoses are on the bike, I can start putting the rear and front mudguard on, which kind of leads me on to the next thing that we're doing with this bike. So down on the floor here, I have all the carbon trim bits that come off of the bike. The new panel set that I've got coming comes with all of these trim bits, but I'm going to probably keep the carbon bits because they look better. Most of them are in good condition. I'm going to give them a little clean up and a polish and they should come out looking really nice. I'm also going to take the stickers off the mudguards. And this is the tank cover that comes with the bike. It looks like it's carbon with red stickers around it, so I'm going to go and take the stickers off and see how it comes out. The plan is, when it comes to panels, is we're going to use the old set that come on the bike as racing or track panels, and the new panel set that I've got coming from China are going to be the bike's main panels. Off camera, I went and installed a new oil cap. This was the one that come on the bike. It was a bit tacky and faded red anodized. I didn't really like it. So I replaced it with more cheap tack, but I think it looks a little bit better. It's just a single nice CNC. It actually looks quite bad on camera, the finish on it, but in real life it looks quite nice. It's alright, it was very cheap. It was £6, but I think it just looks more standard and just a bit cleaner than the one that was on there. In the post, I've also got a new set of reservoir caps coming for the bike. These two do not match and they're a bit red anodized and tacky. So I've got a new set coming which we'll be putting on the bike as well. Okay, so it's actually been a few weeks now. All of the carbon pieces have been polished up. The front and the rear brakes have been bled. We had to change the rear brake reservoir back to the original one. The one that come on the bike was actually broken. There was a piece of metal that had sheared off and it was contaminating all of the brake fluid. We didn't actually have anywhere to put this reservoir. We need a bracket. We've ordered one. For the moment, we just cable tied it to the frame so we can use the back brake. We got a bit carried away and put the rear mudguard on as well. The rear swing arm needs a polish, so it's a bit marked up at the moment. We went ahead and fitted the tank back on the bike. As I've already explained throughout this series, this tank has been a bit of a headache because the original owner rattle canned the black line onto it. So the only way to really fix it and make it proper was to get the whole tank resprayed, which we wasn't sure about doing because we bought a panel kit from China. We just thought that the paints wouldn't match, it would be really hard. So our plan was just to order a tank cover with the panel set so it can go over the tank and we can just forget about all the damage that's on it. Over the last few months while we've been working on the tank, petrol caused a lot of the paint to run. So I sanded it back and painted a new black line, but it's already been damaged unfortunately from us taking on and off the tank cover. It's a real shame that the tank's damaged already. I kind of expected it because it's just put on with a rattle can. There's no lacquer on it, so it's really delicate. But it doesn't really matter because the tank overall is in a bad condition and I'm hoping that the new tank cover that we've got coming will just cover it all. And now finally something a little bit more exciting. The panels have arrived from China. One of the reasons why this episode took so long is because I've been waiting for them. There's been a few pros and cons with ordering this panel set. When I ordered them, it said that the panels were going to come with a bulk kit, but when they turned up, no bulk kit come. So I had to wait another 2 weeks for another bulk kit that I had to order myself separately. As you can see, the box is already opened, so I've already had a look at some of the parts. I'm very happy with most of them. When you look really close at some of the paintwork and the details, there are little flaws, but we're going to go over all of that soon. As you can see, I've already opened the box. We've already taken a look at a lot of the panels. We even went ahead and put the rear end of the bike on, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Before we actually put the panel kit on, we need to take the bike out for a test ride. Since we rebuilt the bike, we've only run it outside the garage for a few minutes. We need to take it out for a proper test ride and check that everything's working on it properly. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that we went ahead and put the headlights and the rear light on the bike. So the rear end of the bike's really coming together. I'm going to show you right now. It's going to be a bit of a surprise, but I'm really happy with how it looks. Are you ready? So we went ahead and put the rear tail section of the new panel kit on the bike. We just couldn't resist. Once we put the rear light on, we wanted to put all of the panels around it to see how it looked. I didn't actually film any of it on camera, so that's why I'm revealing it to you right now. This panel here, this piece is usually a cushion, but it comes as hard plastic. The way you fit it to the panel is you put 3 screws in the back. Unfortunately, my brother yesterday pierced 3 holes into the back of it. It's not the end of the world. We should be able to replace this piece pretty easy. But overall, I'm really happy with the panel kit. Oh, and another thing that we noticed, which is very annoying. Sorry, I forgot to mention. Biggest thing of all. And it's only on this panel. We have had a look at the rest of the panels and all of the lines seem to match up and they seem good. It's only this rear tail section that they really messed up. Right here, this line, it should connect. It should be one piece, but they've unfortunately cut the tape right there. And that is on both sides. That side's even worse really because it's not actually straight. It's one of them ones where it looks good from far, but it's far from good. If you go up really close, you can see some orange peel and imperfections in some of the lines. but standing from far back, it looks really good. And the whole panel kit was 500 quid with delivery, so I can't really complain. Right now I'm going to turn the ignition on, so it's going to make a little bit of noise with the fuel pumps. The reason why is because I want to show you the rear tail lights on this bike. One of the best features of this bike are the rear lights. It looks amazing, so I'm going to show you right now. Are you ready? Oh, look at that. So you have to remember, this bike, when we bought it from the auction, had the whole tail section smashed off. So we've never actually seen it with rear lights on or a whole tail piece. So it's really exciting. And overall, I'm really happy with the way that the bike's come out. I think the gold wheels with the carbon trim bits and the new colourway that we went for looks really good. I can't wait to get the rest of the panels on the bike. But before we do that, we're going to take the bike out for a test ride. So let's do that now. We're back outside at our testing ground for the bike.
The test facility.
Look at it. Okay, we're back outside, ready to test the bike. This is the first time we've started it. Well, I did start it for a few minutes back at the garage, but this is going to be the first proper test ride to make sure everything's running okay, there's no oil leaks, get it up to temperature, and just to make sure everything's going to be okay on it.
Let's go.
And we've got young Michael here, he's going to be the test dummy.
Test dummy, pilot. Let's have a little look.
You're probably not going to be able to hear me much because the engine's so loud, but it sounds really good. And it started up really good as well, just like that. The back end of the bike is the best bit at the moment because it's got the new panels on it. Hey? Sounds good, innit? Yeah. Mental. Sounds absolutely mental.
What's happening? I'll get my knees on.
I'll press the button on the side though. Still good, yeah.
It stopped.
Oh, it's got good brakes.
Got a good brake.
Brembo's unreal, innit? That was the first thing I noticed. We're back in the garage. Everything went really well with the test ride. The bike isn't leaking any fluid, which is good. Over here we've got all the carbon bits that have been polished up. They look really shiny, which is nice. And now it's time for the fun bit. We're going to start putting all of the panels back on the bike. I'm going to start taking the panels out of the box and going through them. And we're going to start assembling the bike. And that is it, guys. Finally, the Ducati 899 project is finally done. It's quite a few months later, and overall I'm really happy with how it come out. It's really satisfying to see it finished. I think the red, white and green colour scheme that we went for with the gold wheels and the carbon trim bits looks really nice. If you've been following the journey, you would have seen how much work we've done on the bike, and filming it and editing it adds a lot of time on, but it is what it is. It's been really good to do. For anyone that's interested in how much this build cost, in the next episode I'm going to be taking the bike on the track and I'm going to go over all of the cost build to rebuild this crash damaged bike. It was a little bit more than we expected, and to be honest I could have probably brought one in similar or probably newer, better condition without a crash damage title or being categorized. It is what it is. I didn't do it for any profit or any financial gain. I've done it as a fun project to do in the winter time, and now it's summer and I've got a brand new Ducati, so I don't really mind. I've got more content coming on the channel. In a few weeks from now I'm going to be riding my KTM to Rome with a few friends who have just passed their bike test, so I'm going to do a whole travel video on riding down to Rome. So if you're interested in that, then stay tuned. And to be honest, that's all I've got for the end of this video. Really happy with how the bike come out. You've seen some B-roll shots of it, and that's it. So thank you very much if you've contributed to the series. And that's about all I've got for the end of this series. It's been really fun doing it, and I appreciate you watching. Cheers.